Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. Today is Monday, October 28th, 2024. We get together most weekday mornings at this time to talk about strategies, tips, share techniques, success stories, and support each of you. We have a number of distribution partner updates or topics to cover. They are over a wide variety of topics. I have them all displayed here, but let's go ahead and get started. So number one, so some of you are white label partners. Some of you are affiliates, and you could be both, but a given client has to come through one of the two channels. The affiliate role is the easiest to describe, isn't it? Because as an affiliate, you get a landing page for free. You refer people into that landing page and you make $1,000 for each conversion. Real simple. And that's great. But some of you aren't satisfied with that. You want to be more involved, and that's fine, and make more money, which is fine. So we have the white label partnership role. I assume you'll know if you're a white label partner because you would have signed that contract, and then we should have sent you a white label partner onboarding email immediately thereafter. On that onboarding email, it had a number of training links, but most importantly, it has 3 links to editable documents. One is an editable press release of lesser importance, and then for the buy and the build, so the Shelf Corporation and the 4-week, you have editable client agreements. So if you're a white label partner, you're going out under your branding. And so some of you are not doing that correctly. You'll use our information on the marketing or on your websites. That's not correct. Nowhere on there should our information be. A white label partner markets under their branding. You close your own deals and you set your own pricing. So, Mr. Robinson, you had sent over to me a link to your website. We need to clean that up. It shouldn't have any of our information. Because white label partners are able to set their own pricing, everybody does need to go out under their branding, so that way there's not an inconsistency in the marketplace. So as a white label partner, there are some benefits, and I'm not trying to pitch you on this or sell you on it, just trying to clarify. So you get a free personalized landing page similar to this one. So it's a nice one-page landing page. Right here, it will link to your contract. So when a client's ready to sign up with you to get a Shelf Corp, they'd literally be able to just click that button, has some basic information. Of course, it would have your information and your logo. And then it has a simple contact form that would come back to you, would have your information at the bottom. So as a white label partner, your branding, no reference to us. You close your own deals. You set your own pricing. You'd get a free landing page similar to this, free personalized resources. For example, we have a really nice, in my opinion, nice 2-minute video that does a great overview in just 2 minutes of what a Shelf Corporation is. Well, the basic one has our information on it. Well, you wouldn't want to use that because people could circumvent you. You would use your version of that. This is a really big one here, and I'm going to speak louder because I get excited about this. If you're a white label partner, we'll get you set up for direct to merchant financing. Maybe that's not clear. So what that means is, so let's take Romeo, for example. Romeo is one of our white label partners. So Romeo should have his own landing page. It has its link to his own agreement. And when clients fill out his agreement, he's able to get them financing where they finance the purchase price of the Shelf Corporation, and that financing goes directly to him. So think about it. Have you ever gone to a car dealership and then you pick the car and you go into the finance office and you apply for financing, and that money goes directly to the dealership to pay the car? Well, that's called direct to merchant financing. So that's one of the benefits of being a white label partner, is that the financing goes straight to you. You don't have to wait for it to go to the client and then the client to pay you. So there is a license fee to be a white label partner. We've offered to waive that based upon production. So you don't get the personalized resources, but you are able to go ahead and market under your branding, close your own deals, set your own pricing. But you all should be aware that there's production requirements to be a white label partner. And so there are benefits, but there's also responsibilities. And again, some people say, no, I don't want to have any cost. I just want to refer in and get paid. Well, that's the affiliate role. So let's pause here for a moment. Anyone have questions, comments, concerns on the white label partnership role? Once in a while, I'll have questions from some of you, and it's as if you didn't read your white label partner license agreement. So that's where you'd want to start. The training, and so Claude's asking about the training. So on the white label partnership role, there's some on-demand training, but we are reinstituting live training. So thank you, Claude. Let's go ahead and pivot over to number 2. We used to do live trainings frequently prior to COVID, and then COVID hit. No one wanted to travel. No one wanted to be in the same room with each other. So then Zoom became more prevalent. But some of you are asking for detailed information and knowledge, which that's not a bad thing, but we need to get you into live trainings. So if you want to know a lot, we need to train you in an organized fashion, because it's crushing us. We have, and no offense, but we have a lot of low production partners that are inundating us with questions, and that's not a sustainable model. So if you want to have a greater depth of knowledge, which is fine, we encourage that, come to the live trainings. We have a number of you that have agreed to help teach, and we'll pay you to teach, of course, but a number of you have agreed to help come teach this course, kind of a master's training. We're going to be holding those in Dallas, Texas. So you might ask, well, what would I learn if I came to a live training? And I'm not trying to pitch you on this or sell you this. We're just covering that. If you want more in-depth knowledge, we need a more effective and efficient way to convey that. And the way that it's working, I can't make it through a weekend with my family without dozens of, interestingly, low producing referral partners inundating me. So we've got to get you into training if you want to know more. So you'll learn about the background and credit and funding in depth. You'll become an expert at lead generation. And I don't use these terms lightly, because we talk about buy or build. So we've been talking about working with Kyle, buying leads, and that's working really well. I haven't had anyone complain about it. I believe that that's working really well. So if you don't want to buy leads, we can certainly show you how to generate an extraordinary number of leads using Instagram and other strategies. But it's not just a passive, oh, let's chat about it a little bit. We need to get in the room, spend the day, and train you how to do this. So that's one of the deliverables. Getting clients fundable is key. I was talking to a client this morning. She's in California, so it was 5 a.m. her time when I called her, 7 a.m. my time in Texas. And she's kind of edgy. She wants funding, but she doesn't have a fundable business yet. I think some of you that are referral partners, you'll refer someone in and you'll kind of get edgy. Well, my client hasn't gotten funded yet. Well, they have to be fundable first, then we go to funding. It's easy to get the funding once you're fundable. We need to be fundable first. I think some of you don't, and it's not your fault, just some of you don't really understand the 3 C's, credit, collateral, capacity at an in-depth level. So we're going to really drill in on this. Mr. Gibson's asking if I'm one of the trainers. No, actually, I'm not one of the trainers. All the trainers are our top producers, and they know a lot more than I know. So I don't think I would even be qualified to teach this. He also asked when they are. They're going to be on Saturdays, and they're starting them in November, and every Saturday, and starting in November every Saturday. And then also get introduced to some tools and resources that are top producers. So, do you have to come to a live training? Absolutely not. But we just, to sustain our sanity, we've got to do a better match of getting people to the right resources. So those of you that just need to know how the back end works and just deep knowledge, great. We invite that. That's wonderful. But we can't keep having conversations at 1 a.m. on Sunday mornings. It's just not sustainable to us. We love you, but let's get you into a live training if you want that depth. Do you need that depth to be successful? Absolutely not. Do you need that depth to make a lot of money and help people? Absolutely not. But if this is your desire, we're going to do it in a better fashion so we can maintain our sanity. Any questions on that before I move on to number 3? So this is great. We used to do trainings in our offices. We used to office in the Chamber of Commerce. We were invited by a Chamber of Commerce to actually office there, and we did a big deal with hundreds and hundreds of small businesses that received a lot of national press. But fast forward a couple of years now, we're doing the live trainings in Dallas on Saturdays, every Saturday starting in November, so starting next week. I don't know what'll happen around holiday weekends, though, but I'm not part of this team, so I'm the messenger. Any questions on this? All right, Bill's asking if he could be one of the trainers. Absolutely. Yeah, so we're always looking for more trainers, and we might actually take these trainings and do them in different parts of the country rather than just Dallas. But right now, they're held just in Dallas. All right, so if you're interested in that, of course, get with Madison. All right, number 3. We had a board meeting, and the decision was made to not go full franchise, but kind of quasi-franchise. And so we're going to actually open Shelf Corporation physical offices, or what we call shops, across the country. We've been working with a gentleman that was with Edward Jones, and he was instrumental in growing them to about 15,000 offices across the country. So this is a different distribution model whereby you receive geographic exclusivity, but it's for a different type of distribution partner. These are people that want to do it full time. These are people that want to have physical offices. These are people that want to be involved in their community, seen, visible in their community. And so that's a whole higher level. And so I don't know that this is I don't think it's a great fit for most, but for those that want to do this full time, have a physical presence, then we can facilitate that. So we're going to be rolling that out first quarter of 2025. We're going to have one office per zip code. That's the model. Now that's more open than Edward Jones. Like here where we are in Mineola, Edward Jones has, if I am correct, I believe I am, they have 3 offices and 1 zip code. But we're going to have just 1 office per zip code. So if you're interested in having one of the Shelf Corp shops, there's no cost, so it's not like a franchise where you have to go pay a lot of money. But the 2 requirements would be that you have a Shelf Corp and you attend the training. So that's just a different distribution model. We won't talk a lot about this on our daily sessions because this is more the professional grade, and then the affiliates kind of the lowest level, and then the white label partner is the midpoint. Okay, if anyone has questions on that, let us know. I don't think this will be of interest to most of you, but I think it will be interest to some of you. But this is where it would be a full-time office. Now, you wouldn't have to be exclusive. You could do other things, but you'd have to have at least 1 full-time office staff, phones answered, Mondays through Friday, 9 to 5 local time. Because what's weird, a number of you are distribution partners, but when I call you, your voicemail's not set up or it's full. I mean, you can tell that some of our distribution partners lack the business acumen to do this on a very large scale, but a lot of you are best suited to be an affiliate. This is the other end of the continuum. So we'll be building out physical offices across the country. Lastly, and maybe most exciting, is we have a cash incentive through the end of October. I emailed this out, so you all should have seen this. 10,000 of quick cash for each client enrolled between yesterday, the 27th, and the end of the month through the end of 10/31 into Halloween. And so this is based around enrolling clients in a shelf corp. So if you are a white label partner, you should have the client agreements. And so you're using your branding, your client agreements, you set the pricing. And for each client you enroll in this time period for a shelf corp, you will earn your normal payout, which frankly you determine because you set your own pricing, plus the 10,000 of quick cash, and the quick cash will be distributed on November 1st. One of the questions we had, I think it was from Eric after we sent this out, is, well, what if they just pay the 1,000 down? Because, you know, as a shelf corp client, they can pay you just 1,000 down. You keep half, you send us the other half, and then we get them financing for the rest. Well, if you're running a white label partnership operation properly, you would be set up with direct to merchant financing. So you wouldn't have to wait for us to facilitate that. They would be able to apply for financing directly with you. But if you've not paid the license fee, then you're not receiving those free resources. So we'll facilitate the financing. But to answer Eric and others' question, yeah, even if they just pay 1,000 down, even if they've not paid off their shelf corp by the end of the month, those individuals qualify. Again, Madison is your primary point of contact. We're going to have to focus more on that because there's too many. We have a bit of a scattered approach. So we just want to remember, please, please, please work with Madison if you have questions or concerns. And if she can't help you, then she'll help get the answer. Our past trainings are on the YouTube channel. So some of you said, hey, why don't we have some site where we have all the trainings on? Well, guess what? We do. And it's on YouTube. So if you go here, you can access all of the past trainings. There's hundreds of trainings, but I don't know that I would spend a lot of energy going back to older, you know, the most recent or the most relevant. But yes, there is a centralized location for past trainings, and it's youtube.com/little @business paralegal. So as Mr. Gibson said, yeah, it's on YouTube. The problem with this, though, is some of you will go back to older videos, maybe 2 years ago, and you'll reference something from 2 years ago, and things may have changed. So the recent trainings are the most relevant, of course. All right, so what else can I help any of you with? We've covered a clarification of the white label partner role. All of you should have a website that looks like this that we provide you free if you're a white label partner. It would have your logo at the top. This would link to your contract. It's just a basic page. But if you're a white label partner, you need to be operating like a legitimate business. And so that would be how you look here with your website, and then how your phone is answered. Again, I don't want to be critical and judge anyone, but some of you scare me to death with how you would ever make sales, because I'll miss your call and I'll return your call and your voicemail will be all fucked up, or it'll be all goofy, or it's all full. That's not the way to run a business, but I mean, you don't need me to lecture you. So if you want to be a white label partner, let's make sure that you've got the resources and that you're set up properly. If that's not the right fit, hey, be an affiliate. If you want more training, you want more knowledge, you want to understand the inner workings, great. We're going to facilitate that, but we're not going to be able to just have continued 2-hour, 3-hour, 4-hour phone calls where you just want to pick our brains on random topics. We can't run our business like that. So if you want deeper knowledge, you'll want to come into the trainings. But certainly without coming to the live training, we can get you set up as a white label partnership. We can get your landing page going. We can get your contract. We can get you open for business. So this is not required. It's encouraged, it's recommended, but it's not required at all. It's just, if you want this in-depth knowledge, we've got to get you here because some of you are just beating us up with phone support. Thirdly, we talked about the Shelf Corp offices or shops. This is kind of like a franchise, but it's not technically a franchise. It's not regulated as tightly, but we're not selling it to you. We're not charging you for it. The prerequisite is that you do have a Shelf Corp and that you do attend the training. And then with that, then we can execute the addendum, which would give you geographic exclusivity. But again, this means that you're running this like a real business. There's someone there during office hours. It doesn't have to be you. Phones are answered, right? It's a real business. And so this is a higher level of involvement that you may or may not be interested in. And then lastly, again, in summary, we talked about the incentives. So we want you to finish October strong. If you get a contract with a client between now and the end of the month, they sign the contract, they pay you the $1,000 down, you keep half, you send us half, we'll facilitate financing for the rest. That will be, that's all the requirement that there is. Again, if you're a true white label partner, you wouldn't be coming to us to facilitate the financing for this. We would have had you set up with US Bank, with Bank of America. We've got the model, the relationships where you would be paid directly for clients that are financing their Shelf Corp. And they'll go down to a 580 credit score. So most people can get financed for a Shelf Corp purchase. All right, any questions, comments, concerns? Again, Madison's your main point of contact. I love you all, but I can't keep up the pace. The 1 a.m., 2 a.m. phone calls just can't keep up with you. So Madison's your primary point of contact. You want more trainings, of course, then we'll get you with our top producers. I know several of you are interested in getting paid to train others, and you can contact Madison and let her know if you're interested in being paid to train. All right, with that being said, let us know if there's anything else that we can do for you, and we will move forward. But Madison's your primary point of contact. Today's training will be posted here as well as past trainings, and we'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Thanks. Bye.